What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the second album by Indonesian rapper Rich Brian. Based this product is called The Sailor, and it came out in the summer of 2019. Now within Fair's About It here, I have reviewed the previous album by Rich Brian, Pictures Like That, Excellent. Note the excellent type pitches. I've touched base with Rich Brian previously within these aspects, which is the hit album from 2018, Amen, as far as these first albums. Now, it's been a little bit. It's been since 2023, so within these first aspects going to happen. Excellent type ordeals, get into this further type product. Now, the fair about it kind of within it particularly kind of is the factoid that Rich Brian had more noise within the complex of what I remember pitches like that in like the mid-late 2010s, 2016, 2017, kind of when he was known as Rich Chigga, some of those type aspects, pitches like that. It was kind of variety as far as just on top of that. I want to say he at least dropped like an EP or fairs like that in 2017, some of those type products within it, but it's kind of pitched as far as saying like things started to simmer out, but he kept his commercial appeal within some type pitches. It's the variety as far as saying the aspect on here has a real familiar and kind of aspect it. The particular aspect about this album has a real app-type flair for like 2010s type music and pitches like that within these varieties. Just feels like everyday type complex. Some of these type ones that were probably likely caught on the radio despite the fact of it not having. It's not so much it didn't have massive type appeal. There's multiple songs off this album that got millions of plays on Spotify pitches like that. But in terms of like the airplay kind of commonplace, most popular song according to Spotify surprisingly is 100 Degrees, which is not a single pitch like that. So it's that fair. Second most popular is Drive Safe pitches like that. But the two singles, Yellow and Kids, are not the most popular songs off here, and it's actually by quite a distance. But it's just the fair. He was a pretty large spread kind of Spotify era type. Prominent within these pitches as far as paying attention towards it. So within folks thinking of MGK and like the Tickets to My Downfall days, particular also like NF, good players like NF, and folks like particular Kanye West passed the Life of Pablo album from 2016, and then I would also say folks like Big Sean and Ian Dior, folks like that, and a little bit of Mike Posner in there. So some of those particular type flares, and that's the aspect within these varieties, good pitches like that. So it's just the tone as far as saying this is a pretty steadfast type album within pitch as far as saying the variety kind of amongst these aspects. It has the aspect of like some tear up on here, but it's kind of within the same aspect the way Big Sean would kind of have those moments as far as just kind of in between. It's more the get fucked up, tore up, and those type pitches is more within the breather type aspects, kind of in conduit type phases, kind of within the pitch. This is a good and great companion piece to 2010s type music to listen to within the fair, just having rap music type flair. So it's kind of pitched as far as saying not getting terribly into like the aspect of like the full bound kind of like ferocity of like the usual kind of trap carnage pitches like that. So it's kind of within the variety of taking like Juice WRLD kind of makeshift type vibes within a trap type sense and cloud type sense. Now, it's not a cloud type album. It has traces of trap on here, but it's just like a more. It's basically just like a vibe like Big Sean, but probably just 10 years younger within like the pitch of talking about the variety of discs with like usual kind of music type fair. Almost every song on this album has degrees of SFW and music type territory within pitch is something that can kind of have the variety of everyday, something that could kind of be within the commonplace, within like aspects of within the same type flair of folks like Post Malone and varieties like that, some type pitches. So it's just that it's good aptness within the viciousness kind of it. So definitely for Dunkin' Donuts type runs, Starbucks type runs, Panera Bread type aspects. And it's not as if this is a softcore type album. It's just within the pitch as far as saying it has the everyday type facet for more residential type air, minus the pitch of just having strictly tear-up. So it's good type pitches, getting some new avenues within these pitches. Now in 2019, this Friday, this is kind of an older type album nowadays. I mean, it doesn't feel that old within these pitches, but it's kind of Friday as far as saying 2019 was a decent while ago within some of these type pitches. So the aspect as far as saying some of these type ones, some of the initial type ones that were similar to this album, like when you think of Goodbye and Good Riddance by Juice WRLD, and like Post Malone with like the Stoney or Beer Bungs and Bentley's albums, Big Sean with probably like I think I Decided came out in 2017, some of those type varieties. Less kind of Big Sean from like 2015 type one, Dark Sky Paradise, but more like definitely like the I Decided and Detroit 2 eras by Big Sean, some of those type varieties, even though Detroit 2 hadn't come out just yet, some of those type aspects with probably traces of like Finally Famous from 2011 in there, some of those type aspects, and other type varieties pitches like that. Kanye West with Life of Pablo. So it's within good pitches. Ian Dior definitely pitches like that. So it's just the aspect getting some 2010s every day. So it's just the aspect. Good commerce and brush along here as well within these aspects. Just as far as saying paying attention to the variety of just like the aspect of favorite type runs, the aspect of just standard fares, aspects within the tone of this. Getting used to like the Arendine and just products of some of these type fairs that just more within the aspect of listening to rap, but kind of less kind of house party and full bound this nightclub kind of viciousness. Now within the pitch, another thing on top of that was just the factoid that Rich Brian was not 21 within these pitches when this pitch, so it wasn't as if it probably was nightclub type varieties pitched like that, but it's kind of aspect as far as saying he was 19, 20 around this time, so it's kind of pitch as far as saying, but just the aspect as far as getting towards the frosty within the pitch and talking about just good commenting with the aspect of this music kind of every day with products. And it's not a square type album, and the products definitely on here there is some good moments, like some Hypnotic on here, mild bouts of Bacardi, pitches like that, a little bit of Red Bull, some type traces within the safety of it, good fares like that. But just the pitch as far as saying some of these type fares, definitely get like some, barbecue lays in your system, fares like that, good aspects within these tones, talking about core and Doritos, but it's not really as much. It's not like it's not a full-bound gluttonous, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying just get this shit taken care of within the aspect of like whether it's erranding or just the product of this day task, but it's not as many full-bound like entirely designated within the pitch. There's some moments on here kind of like confetti and rap. There's some moments on here like confetti and rap papa with some of these type pitches, some of those type ones, but it's just with the aspects for us saying, so just the complex steadfast type shit, get your shit done, get it taken care of. This the aspect kind of gives me more, not so much full bound the board. I feel like there are some makeshift songs on here for weekday, Monday through Thursday, but it does have traces within variety, but it's this kind of aspect, this not usual Tibbles of Thursday, Friday, Saturday night pitch like that, but it's not as if it's tame, so just pitch like that, just variety, just inserting it within the products of this extra type fare within the aspect of the availability based upon the day fare, but just paying attention to like varieties, good pitches like that. Just being able to say hit type song off this album is Yellow, pitch like that. Now within the fray, this album did have good casual commonplace, but it's just a pitch of just questioning whether or not, I think Rhythmic type fare probably picked up some of these type songs within aspects of the degrees behind it, but it's this kind of pitch as far as saying it wasn't like top 5, top 15 fares like that. It's not as if it was in terms of quality, but just the pitch as far as saying, but Yellow's a hit type one. It's like a syrupy and stuck kind of Kid Cudi style kind of 2010s Muzak sludge to get here pitch like that. Backstreet's kind of SFW trap, some of these stuff fares is good to pick up donuts, some of these stuff aspects with it. It feels like Kanye in 2016, 2018, some stuff fares definitely feels like Kid Cudi around that time as well. Some stuff pitches just paying attention to the fair is a real brooding type one. Definitely like the aspect. This feels like something Eminem would have done back in 2001, 2002, but with just more. Yellow feels like a good radio grab that Eminem would have done back in 2001, 2002 with just like a personal type aspect with like the forlorn typeness, but just to miss the fair, just something to kind of listen to that's kind of bruised and shady and glue med pitches like that, but just kind of missed the variety as far as saying just the particular aspect of just more having some radio glam type about it, pitches like that within some stuff variety. So it's a good pitch as far as these particular fares about it kind of go, just kind of darkness within the tone, but good aspects within the product. So it's just a good Juice WRLD type variety, but just a little bit darker pitch like that, but just a good factor as far as these pairs going to have. And just SFW kind of trap definitely within pitch like that. It's kind of variety, some of those type ones. It's kind of complex, just the way NF would kind of have those venting type songs pitched like that, but just more amidst like probably day fare, some of those type aspects. Good type variety, good aspect, kind of get some broodiness within those tones. It's same similarity type vibes to Dax, NF, Eminem, some of these type pitches within the varieties kind of about it. Kids is a hitting type one, it's a throwback type one, good pitch like that. It's like a solid 2000 style kind of city step out to get here. Just DJ Drama and Kanye type flair pitch like that. Kanye with like a song like Touch the Sky, DJ Drama with songs like off of like Dedication 2 by Lil Wayne, some of those type ones like Go Crazy by Jeezy, some of those type aspects, good pitch like that. Just that Tibble type flair, good Cameron, Jeezy, Joel Santana kind of city step out, just grab like some champagne. So it's kind of within the product, but it's just not as much chum along, doesn't strike me. Kind of within the song lyrics, particularly Rich Brian kind of talks about just more expensive type taste pitches like that. So it's kind of fair as far as saying not just like a $5 kind of vodka or something like that, or just Chicken McNuggets type fare, but just spending the dough. Some of these type pitches, grab like champagne, probably some caviar for a flame pitch like that. So just kind of the extravagance, taking that particular type variety. I mean, obviously within the pitch, those sorts of vibes were the same way back in that particular aspect. Back in 2005, 2006, Jeezy was buying like mink coats and fares like that. It was kind of pitch as far as saying just within variety. Obviously, if not available, it's kind of pitch just throwing in like probably box of Budweiser, some of those pitches. But just the aspect, if it ain't tricking if you got it type vibes, some of those type aspects and tones. So good type pitches within variety, so good flares about it. And that's the promotion fair about this album, some of these type varieties. Some of these type flares, but I recommend all 12 songs off this album, so 10 out of 10 just to say. I don't know if I said that earlier, but good excellent pitches. Recommend all these songs, good pitches like that. There's some good nice ones on here. So 100 Degrees, most popular song off this album according to Spotify, is good type pitches. It's like a summer side and light lick kind of look on the bright side type vibes, I'd say, just with like some makeshift some look on the bright side type vibes, just with some makeshift usuals, I'd say, pitch like that. This has some good radio glam, so it's just kind of pitch. Usually summer type songs, when you think of like Hot in Here by Nelly and fairs like that, just pool party type songs, beach side type fair, just kind of more just getting a tan type vibes, this kind of aspect, just kind of more within the commie type aspect. So it's kind of summer lick, but just the aspect of just having more music kind of in mind, pitch like that, where it's not just I say getting a tan type vibes, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying just the aspect of just kind of peeved about it, pitches like that, but just kind of bite the bullet. There's some aspects within this album that kind of have bite the bullet type vibes. Not as full bound as it to say like gotta get up, and it's not like that typical kind of get up and go that pisses folks off. It's just kind of pitches for saying just more within like a look on the bright side kind of pitches. Of just good pick me up type variety, something in mind to kind of keep the fair about it kind of going, pitches like that. Pick up like some Smirnoff Ice pitches like that, sunset varieties, but good pitches about it. Another particular hitting type one is No Worries pitches like that. This kind of has similar type varieties to 100 Degrees pitches like that, not quite as full bound summer lick, but probably within the same type variety around that particular aspect about it. Just good sun gaze. Just good, nice summer dredge, like an evening shift kind of gulag, just out and around kind of pitch like that. Just quarter pounder, sunny step aspects from the tone. Just glad kind of frustrate here pitches like that, but just kind of the usual blah about it. So some of these type ones, just the kind of vibe with this one is just hot as hell type days. Just the particular aspect like that, frustrate, but just the get up and just the blah factor and No Worries being high enough, pitches like that is very much within the similarity to Ian Dior and particularly Big Sean within sunny step aspects as far as the fair is going to happen, just within pitch as far as saying. So it's just the factor. This album works as like a good welcome mat for some of these tough fairs to just tackling like the day scene pitch like that, but it's kind of aptness to just as far as saying it's just the product of getting towards like particular aspects. So it's just good loud peck for like those particular type varieties to just to miss like commenting type places within some type pitches. It kind of this is a good music type variety type fair pitch like that amidst like the 2010s type fashion. So it has the pitch as far as saying, kind of losing my train of thought here as far as these pitches can have, but it's just the aspect as far as getting towards like the product of this like the commonplace, this everyday type fashion. So it's kind of the variety as far as saying within these particular type varieties, there's more like I feel like Rich Brian is kind of like certain degrees to kind of make weight for like the 2010s type fashion kind of within pitch. It's very appealing how much radio glam this particular album has, considering the factoid that it was not within the usual kind of mainstead type commonplace compared to folks like The Weeknd, compared to Rhythmic Everydays within a pop and rap type sense like The Weeknd, Juice WRLD, Ian Dior, MGK, Post Malone, some of these type folks, Big Sean. So it's kind of within the varieties, this extracurricular type fair, just not so much full bound secondary in terms of quality, but just not like the A, B, C type pick within pitch. It is further type ones down the list with some of these type fairs that has like some good glam factor to kind of fuck with in terms like this the next door neighbor to like some of these type varieties within some of these type pitches. There's good aspects within those tones. Curious is a hitting type ones like a smoke room and sunroom kind of appreciate the weather and scenery fairs like that. I'd say it's another good. It's like some good yellowy kind of sunlick type ones pitch like that. Just catch up with folks. Definitely has some memes going pitch like that. Some stuff fairs to just know your good fairs like know your meme on stand 5 fairs like that to kind of navigate within some stuff products within the pitch behind it. Just the apt to just some of that particular type fair just good. Kind of like Porsche type fair, but just more indoor bound within like the pitch of just time waste pitches like that. Confetti is a hitting type one. It's like a trap go ham to get and kickstart as far as these fairs can have them. Just kind of an SFW kind of Big Sean and NF style kind of get loud pitches like that. Just have like a Red Bull, some stuff fairs within the aspect of just like the safety of a pitch like that. Just kind of variety, fucking with it, but just kind of aspect of keeping in mind like the fair, just knowing like the weight watch kind of limit within some stuff varieties. Definitely probably with them variety having gin later, some stuff pitches. So it's kind of, whether or not this is kind of Wednesday type turn up pitch like that, where you do have to get back to like the usual type factor, or just the product of it being kind of Friday within a sense of this kind of keeping like within that like that kind of usual type snap, but just staying steadfast to the like work shift type fair is kind of the pitch of. It's healthier kind of turn up, but it's good banging typeness kind of get within these aspects, like some good snarl about a good pitch like that. So this aspects part of saying just fiery typeness. Get some smokage in your system, fairs like that. Gin later on within the availability of it, pitches like that, good type varieties. Just kind of aspect, just paying attention, thinking of Big Sean with like the Finally Famous album, some stuff pitches, kind of Mac Miller within like the Blue Slide Park type variety pitch like that, some stuff first, but good accent pitches. Raw Papa is a nice one within these pitches, like a good rise and shine and jostle kind of get within these fairs. This Thursday, Friday kind of excitement here, pitches like that. Just some priming, definitely hypnotics waiting for later within these fairs about it. Good, nice fair to listen to, just like some heavier kind of trap type rap music within pitches, just like the variety, just kind of in between kind of conduit type moments. This is kind of fair if you do have a little bit If you do have a little bit lengthier, kind of get towards the fashion, some of these type varieties pitch like that. It's this kind of aspect of kind of mostly done, but just the rope up, kind of like the leftover type fare within the variety, good pitch like that. So this kind of some loading screen kind of excitement to get there, pitch like that. It's just good, kind of your 83%, 78% there within pitch like that. Just get through those last little roadblocks and obstacles, pitch like that. Just get towards the variety within the pitch. Now, within the aspect kind of behind it, also within a music type fare, it's also just kind of good steadfast type ones kind of get within those products for this. This particular album has a good conduit and like the handle, just like the aspects of just having like the turn up in like a rap type fashion, whether or not. Thing about folks like Big Sean, Mac Miller, some stuff airs is it's not like within variety every last person that's kind of just like, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for like the tear up type fashion. So it also works as just like rap music for more SFW type senses as well within these pitches. If like this is like the spice of the moment pitch like that, where there's not gonna just say it's also this kind of blue collar type turn up within those pitches, just realizing that you have to get back to like the fray of it, 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday or something like that. But it's just pitch, some of those stuff airs pitches like that. So it has those particular aspects. Big Sean, some stuff folks. Big Sean Connie were good at doing these. Whereas the time goes, the hitting type 1, good type flares like a Target Run and Vanilla Commerce to get here pitched like that. Just some Vanilla Commerce kind of extra thought I'd say pitches. Some of those type flares, just groceries and kind of some day snaps kind of get to. Rapapapa has RZA on there, pitches like that from Wu-Tang, good excellent pitches. And particularly Whereas the Time Go has Joji, good fares like that. Excellent type fares about it. Kind of within variety as far as saying, but particularly, yeah, just some music type fare within pitch. It just kind of just utility runs, paper plate type runs, pitch like that. Some stuff fair, just grocery pickups for like the fair, just being handy and productive. Some stuff fair is just a good product of this. Definitely good type varieties to have handiness and niftiness kind of in mind, pitch like this. So this kind of aspect of having like the good type fair, just a particular word I'm trying to think of, pitches like that. It's another word for handy within these pitches, but it's not coming through as full bound pitches like that. But just within aspects, as far as saying within variety, kind of being essential pitches like that, but just one of those type of phrases about it, just pitches. But just being able to say within sense of pitches, slow down turbos to hitting type 1. It's like a solid vanilla kind of 2010s Muzak and everyday kind of slow down turbos like a solid vanilla kind of 2010s Muzak and everyday to get within these products. Just some outing kind of white noise to get here pitches like that. Just a gift run for flames in mind pitches like that. Pick up like some nail polish, some of these type fairs polish in general. Some type of aspects and tones as far as these pitches can have, and just good type varieties amongst it. Just kind of amidst some commerce. So just kind of flipping through, kind of like within the aspect, just flipping through the radio. Some stuff fairs just kind of miss the fray of this. So songs like Where Does the Time Go and Slow Down Turbo, kind of songs that miss the fray of appreciating shopping and gift runs, and stuff, aspects and tones as far as these pitches can have, just kind of miss the fair. Good breeze, long time waste, good aspects like that within these pitches. Probably have like a good aspect like particular fair, just some Doritos along the way, pitches like that, miss the phrase, good aspects, kind of keep the spice of it, just kind of within the fairs, so not to have too much doldrum-esque about it. So it's pitches like that. But yeah, this has a solitary amount of pep on here, good pitches as well. It's kind of the get up and go on this album, has a good large spread kind of aspect. It's not most of the frustrate on this particular album is more kind of positive frustrate within these pitches. This kind of aspect is not terribly much IDGF, kind of like fuck today type aspects. It's kind of done, it has a little bit more, has more get up and go, which is excellent type pitches. And speaking of like a particular song with some of that type of variety, good pitches like that would be particularly Drive Safe. This is a hitting type one. It's like a softcore kind of NF and Ian Dior style kind of brunch and go get it type shift pitches like that. I'd say some of these type fares just kind of it's definitely like a go get a shift kind of passage fares like that. I'd say just good, nice song to bite the bullet. Some of these type fares and miss the pitch behind it. So it's kind of missed the fray of just like the gulag type fashion, just like the day shift type fare pitches like that, miss some of this stuff right. So just typical kind of radio glam pitches like that amongst some stuff where deals, but just kind of aspects as far as saying this good particular usual dredge and personals as far as these fares can have them excellent within the pitch as far as talking about just the aspect of like particular kind of good day fare kind of lingering and time waste as far as these fares can have. So it's excellent within these pitches, but this kind of aspect as far as paying attention towards it, just kind of this usual factor, miss the blase pitches like that. And I would say another particular type one, which I don't think I've talked about, is Vacant as far as these pitches can happen. Vacant's like a typical kind of trap makeshift chum along to get here pitches like that. This vehicle, another particular one I don't think I've talked about on here is Vacant. Good excellent one within these pitches, like a typical kind of rap makeshift chum along to get vehicle wise pitches like that. Just kind of car McMuffins, fares like that. Just text kind of time waste here. BSing some stuff products. So just the pitch. Some of these type ones are kind of with the aspect just like the gulag type fashion, just the aspect just kind of out in the fray pitches like that, but just kind of aspect of not. A lot of these give off vibes of more stewing type phrase pitches like that. Some of these type particular fares of this. Just an aspect of like particular fare of this. Yeah, just to say with an aspect of BSing pitches like that, it's kind of a variety of myths. Some of these type fares of kind of, I would definitely say within some type varieties within the legality of it, not definitely some of these type varieties give me vibes of something that would need some degree of pick-me-up type fashion kind of within it. Now within the fair discs, whether it is disc commute and transit to work, and some of these type fairs music type fair makeshift blue collar, some of these type aspects within the tone. Some of these type ones are kind of in between that type fashion and just out within like the day product to like the standard kind of scenery and pitch like that. So some of these type varieties, some of these are pretty straightforward within a sense, but they also have like a pretty steadfast type snap about them, where it's just kind of fair. The dredge factor kind of creeps in within certain type senses with the aspect not having some extra type fairs on top of that within these pitches. This kind of variety as far as saying, but for the most part, the fair about this album, not too terribly bothered by like the pitch of having like gigantic kind of tear up kind of standing by pitch like that. Was just the fair. It's not like it doesn't, it was just the pitch as far as saying just the aspect. Just there's some good focus kind of on like this the product of like erranding and standard kind of just shopping moments in the express pitches like that. But it's just the aspects as far as saying paying attention to some of those type ones. I'm trying to think of other type ones I haven't talked about on here. I think that more or less might take care of it with the exception of the Sailor, the title track. So the Sailor is like a riled and loose and kind of makeshift hype up to get here pitches like that, smokable since the fairs, then switch pretty aptly to like finery ship pitches like that. So it's kind of the aspect. Then the lyrics of the song, Rich Brian kind of talks about the Freya just meeting up with the particular starlet at like might have been at like a gas station picking up like some gum, something like that within the varieties kind of amongst it. Some of those type of aspects was this kind of tone as far as saying just switching to flip mode within just like a Kemp type sense. This kind of pitch as far as saying just relative type tear up, pretty snappy type song. It's just good type era putting on like SFW kind of presentable face pitches like that within some type era. So this kind of pitch as far as saying just the aspects of this hat. Sounds pretty good at that within those phrases of having like the switch up within these fairs. Not to say like that, but the pitch as far as talking about the way Travis Scott and Drake would kind of do some of these type moments kind of within variety alike, particular. Like when you would think of a song like Sicko Mode, some of these type pitches with an aspect like the tone switch up. So it's this kind of pitch as far as saying it's kind of the variety, just like the aspect, the way some of those type fairs would kind of happen in within like the fair about a pitch like that. Some of those type ones like Slow Down Turbo kind of being the variety of just switching through like the radio stations pitches like that amongst the commerce. So another one kind of on here that particularly does that. The Sailor kind of within the pitch of this Starlet come through in this kind of pitch. Alright, throw that, put out that zigzag, some of those type pitches within the variety pitches like that. But it's kind of the phrase as far as saying, so paying attention towards the air. I think I've talked about all these songs within these aspects as far as the fair is going to happen. So this is the pitch as far as saying 10 out of 10 albums and these type varieties within it. Social score would get pretty much like a 10 out of 10. The complex and just the weavings through some of these type times within the pitch as far as talking about this the phrase to how aptly it kind of does it. Like I said, it's more secondary type territory. I question if some of these type ones showed up on rhythmic type radio. They probably did within certain type senses within variety, but it's this kind of complex. It was just strange that Rich Brian kind of filtered out of the spotlight as quickly as he did within these fairs. But then it's probably just within the variety. I think these are complex enough make weight within the fairs that this is like some good choices here. It's not like these hooks are not good, and just the aspect of being able to reach airplay pitch like that. I mean, it had the Spotify popularity and the casual type complex, pretty notable name within those aspects within Friday. So it's just the pitch as far as saying paying attention towards it here, just being able to say to liking folks like NF and Big Sean, some stuff folks, Post Malone is good type varieties to fuck with this, as well as just within that same sort of palette and things like that. Just most of this album has SFW kind of down pat pretty excellently within like the aspect of rap and trap type fair pitches like that. So it's a 10 social just within the pitches. In terms of the future, like Rich Brian put out a 2025 album pitches like that, so it's variety as far as saying. Now he does have other type ones, EPs and fairs like that. I'm not sure if he has mixtapes, but the variety as far as saying some other type products, some of these type fairs within the pitch behind him is excellent type fair as far as getting towards it. Just good varieties like good, excellent kind of handle and like radio kind of everyday, and some of these type fairs that just have like a lot of good aspects for like some time waste and fairs like that within the particular tone of just shopping type bits and gift pickups as far as these fairs can happen, and spoiling flame some of these type things.